when my team wins a big game, it's good. But when my team doesn't win the big game, you better look out, Buster. I'm a loose cannon. This is not good at all.
Good afternoon. It's the Too Much Dip podcast, a sports show here on Washed Media. My name is Dave. Joining me in studio, as always, pocket teed out, Sap's hat on his head, Dylan Shivery.
We all got pockets. That's not a T, but you got a pocket.
We all have pockets on our chest.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Glad to be here. I caught myself a little puck fever at the moment.
Oh, yeah?
Golden Knights are up 2-1, about to go up 3-1 later on this evening. Looking good. Stone Man is out there just skating his little D off.
Man, you're gonna love the segment we do with the guy sitting right next to me here in a minute.
I know. I'm just letting you know I'm horny for puck.
Speaking of horny for puck, here's a guy who just stays rocked up at all times for puck. It's KJ Ellis.
Solid as a rock. I will not cuck the puck, if you will, but I am thrilled to be here.
Dylan low-key did cuck the puck, didn't he?
All I said was Stone Man is skating. I mean, I didn't. That's it.
People want that analysis when the cold stove guy's on.
Well, he's here and he's going to do great.
You took his talking points.
I wasn't aware he was here. You're telling me somebody else is here?
Yeah, you can't see him?
He's in the corner. I see it now.
Come on,
he's in that
full blown cuck the puck.
KJ,
he's in the chair. That's tough. Hey, Brett Merriman, big game Brett, going back to back on Too Much Dip.
Dylan did steal my talking point. I was going to say Mark Stone is skating. So that's
his little D off.
I'm going to cross that one out. He also said, what did he say this morning? Dylan said Zach Eichel is really...
Zach Eichel,
No, that's Jack's brother, Zach.
My bad.
Yeah.
It's his little brother.
Jack, though, man, he's putting pucks on net.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen this.
He's a hell of a ball player, Dylan.
He is.
Hey, Brett, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, guys. 2 weeks in a row talking puck on Too Much Dip. Excited to be here. KJ, congrats on your Pittsburgh Pirates. And
it's been a long road, but some would say I did show them the path to success in the MLB just 2 short years ago, selecting them as my team for MLB The Show, and here they are in the real world dominating. Coaches or managers getting extensions. You love to see it.
We got some baseball talking points in the sports party, but it's worth noting that I think 3 of the best teams in baseball, the 3, in no particular order: Pirates, Rays, Texas Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
First place Texas Rangers, KJ.
And people would note, if they want to say the Rays are kind of the one-off, this is kind of the official podcast of Randy Arozarena, being that we discovered him 2 years ago during his World Series tear. So
yeah, we were pretty much ground floor.
It's all us.
All us. Hey, follow us on social media. Too Much Dip. We're on Twitter. We're also on Instagram. Instagram is just blowing up. Loving it. Thank you guys for the follows. Before we get into it today, would you guys mind if I talked about some weirdo shit going down at the gym?
This is always one of my favorite subjects, so yes, please.
We kind of built this company on weirdo shit at the gym. Like week 1 on the Circling Back show, Dylan and I we're just feasting on that kind of content.
Yeah.
But yesterday I took it upon myself to hit the Lifetime Fitness, as I often will. Big fan. Did a little workout. Afterward, as I often do, hit the sauna. And the sauna, I blame Joe Rogan, and he's doing a good deed by informing people of the benefits of sauna, all that. But it's a very crowded thing. It's a co-ed sauna out in the middle of everything. And it's quite crowded. You get in there, there's usually like no less than 5 people, sometimes even as many as 10. So you got some people on the floor with towels laid down. I get in there. I go to the corner because it's available, whatever. Guy comes in there, gets between me. I'm on the upper level. There's a young lady reading a book on the lower level to my right. This guy gets between us, sits down. I'm like, okay. I mean, it's close quarters, but that's fine. Just don't touch me. I don't want your sweat on me. He then stands up on the step and proceeds to not only do his stretches on the step, but he does like yoga poses in between us. He was within 2 feet of me. And at one point, the sweat from his body flung onto my leg and really grossed me out. And like pretty much there's a few things you want to avoid in the sauna. That's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bad that the girl angrily shut her book and just left.
Seriously?
He was an older guy, probably, 60, but it's as close as I've come to being like, hey man, you've got to give me my space. It was very odd.
I was in the same sauna the other day, and just to piggyback off you, I'll keep mine short. There was a couple in there holding hands throughout the entire duration of their sauna session.
Now that's hot.
In a 178-degree room, you tend to get a little sweaty. Holding hands, it's just like the worst hand-holding environment I can imagine. Just gross.
The last thing I want to do in the sauna is any type of PDA.
Right. Like, do you have to do that? I mean, are you that into your partner? No. The answer is no, you're not. No one is.
Somebody in that relationship messed up. If you feel the need to hold hands in the sauna, like somebody got busted.
Yeah.
It's weird. I was in one yesterday as well. And Jerry from Succession was there too, along with Hugo, and like there's a camera crew outside of it when I was in Norway.
You were in Norway yesterday?
Sounds a lot like the plot of last night's Succession.
Well, there was a deal going.
You were in the sauna though. The big difference.
Right.
Sauna
The
and sauna.
yeah.
Complete difference.
True. Very true. That's on me. What kind of yoga poses was he doing, Dave? Just so I can have a better visual.
He was doing like the balance one where like you lean forward and like you put your left leg or like your other leg back, and you're kind of it's a real bitch on the hamstrings.
The airplane one? Airplane arms?
Something like that. Something I can't do.
You should have pushed him into the hot rocks.
I thought about actually killing him. I
Really?
did. But I was like, that could really ruin the show. So I decided not to. I let him slide, but was not happy. Then I went on my lunch break and did a little cardio like an hour ago.
What'd you do?
I hit the heavy bag for like 30 minutes. Then I showered, go to my locker. Weirdo shit number 2. Guy walks over, gets in a locker, I don't know, about 10 down from mine. His phone blaring the most aggressive, like dubstep, Skrillex. I don't even know what's like, just like bad techno house music. I don't even know. Blaring it, not even trying to have headphones. And I just thought that was some real weirdo shit. Could just be me. I let it slide because I was like, okay, it's not ruining my day or anything, but like I was kind of enjoying Smashing Pumpkins 1979 coming through the speakers on whatever Lifetime Fitness channel they run out there. But okay, we'll do dubstep here at like 12:30 on a Monday.
Did you catch the vibe?
No.
Was it Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites or whatever it's called?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, that was like
Skrillex
college
thing.
Yeah,
Very
college
close.
freshman year. That song was bumping.
Okay.
There's always a one guy in the sauna who, in a crowded sauna, he'll just start a conversation like with the whole room and just wait for at least one person to respond so he can just engage with that one person throughout the rest of it. There's always that guy.
Dude, people don't know how to act in there, man.
I just act like I can't hear anything.
Do you do headphones in there? Because I don't.
No, they get too sweaty, man.
That's what I think. Yeah. And most people do, but I have to sit there. If there's a talker in there, I just have to sit there and take it. Like, I'm not trying.
That's a risk.
It is a risk.
You kind of have to go airplane rules, I feel like, in the sauna.
Stop saying sauna.
Hey, what are you doing?
I've been to Iceland before, and that's kind of how they pronounce it. The geothermal thing, completely different vibe altogether. I don't know if you guys are into kind of the Scandinavian thing. Completely different.
Oh, I am.
I've seen some of their stuff.
But I feel like you've got to go. No talking is kind of a standard. You only get to do stretches if it's like critical to making sure you don't have like blood clots going on in that setting. Like same as an airplane. I will accept an older person on an airplane getting some lunges in at altitude if it's going to keep them alive. I don't need them like lunging into my seat to accomplish that task though. Same in the sauna.
What if you're seated next to noted hip hop artist Designer?
Yeah, then what?
He's getting a stretch in there.
Yeah. That's just a lot, man.
You shouldn't do that on a plane. We're not going to
Famous
really go
Bush
into
song Vaseline is,
Yeah, what is
fits
he?
there.
What is he? 13? Who's like?
The premeditated
Come
move of
on.
bringing the Vaseline on the plane and having access to it, like that's how horny the man was.
He was monitored by 2 of his friends in the back, so he was sitting with his squad.
By monitored, I think they mean like, hey man, chill, like put your piece away.
Or they were keeping watch.
Yeah, they were.
Do we need to give the people context if they don't know what the story is about? Designer,
We
the
did
rapper,
kind of throw a complete curveball
He
there.
did Panda.
the rapper designer, yeah, the Panda guy.
He's got broads in Atlanta.
He's been taken in for
Taking it
masturbating
out.
on an airplane.
What was the quote? What was the quote about that involves Japan?
You said he told the authorities. Designer told him it all happened because he quote didn't really get much cootie while in Japan and was quote brick hard when he got on the plane.
We've all been there.
I'm just saying.
Brick hard.
Cootie.
Homie was bricked up.
That was a quote, not my words. That's a quote from
Yeah,
Designer.
don't use that clip on social media of Brett saying that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the world capital of sashimi. Get some. Figure it out.
That's a tough flight. Japan to Minnesota.
Why is he going to Minnesota? Big
Trying to catch game 3.
big Foligno fan.
There you go.
That's sports hockey. Cool. Hey, speaking of that, we got to. Brett's been nice enough to give us some time, so let's get to it. Randy, can you pull up what I sent you earlier? I just want to spend a couple minutes on what the Texans tweeted out. They got the number 2 pick in the draft, and
Famously should have, not won their last game of the 2022 season.
yes, the Davis
Great
Mills
callback.
game.
Yeah. Just shut it down. Neil did the number 1 pick.
The Lovey Smith last stand.
Love it.
Lovie Smith's revenge tour.
It'll either set the franchise back another 5 years, or I don't know. They're liking that the Kentucky kid, right? That's the rumor. Whatever. They tweeted some shit out that's just unbelievable. No franchise should ever tweet this out. It is a text graphic, and what would you say that font is?
I was trying to figure that out too. It's not like Old English font, but it's in the family.
Ballpark of Old English.
Yeah.
Who wants to read it? Dylan, I want you to read it.
Sure. Failure is not an option. It's a necessity. Every misstep is a lesson learned. So I'm reading slowly because it's kind of difficult to read.
Mm-hmm.
Every setback,
Very much so.
a chance to grow stronger. Embrace the struggle and become unstoppable.
Facts.
This on the heels of a very, very poor season.
A number of them, actually.
So, but that was a necessity, apparently, going through what they did.
That's funny right there.
As many people have pointed out, somebody had the best quote. It might have been Bunky Perkins or Bump Chilps. One of them said, it's like a bodybuilder who's like going through it and like his girlfriend just broke up with him and he's like putting up some motivational shit.
Yeah. Do you want your franchise posting motivational phrases like this? Because
No.
I certainly do not.
This is the most cryptic thing. It's like the pitch black backdrop, the gothic Old English, whatever.
Can I enter this into the cringe draft from last week we did on Circling Back? Because this makes me cringe.
We should do a sports cringe draft.
We should.
We could do that next week.
It's even cringier. It's scheduled because it came out at exactly 8 a.m. today.
Ooh, see, that's a
They
content
didn't
guy.
even offset it
you're
by a
right.
couple minutes.
No.
Brett is content. He knows what's
Brent
going
gets
on.
it.
And the caption is forward. I mean, what setback makes you grow stronger? If anything, you learn from setbacks and missteps are different. I don't know. I don't
Is
even
it just
agree with the
me?
grammar here.
Thanks, I hate it.
The setback is that they kept Jack Easterby for as long as they did.
That
Yeah,
guy is
their
a
team chaplain
clown
who
show.
ended up in their front office.
That guy was a joke. Remember his like stand-up set he did in front of a congregation?
Do I ever?
Oh,
I think
funny
about
right
it
there.
every week.
that's cringe.
You could do a cringe draft for just the Houston Texans
Yeah,
alone.
you can. It's
David
true.
Carr, 72 sacks his first year.
Not his fault. They still beat the Cowboys that first game.
Shut up.
Very embarrassing. Quincy Carter.
Who was the Cowboys quarterback in 2002?
Quincy Carter.
Oh.
The great Quincy Carter. Not bad, but
Yeah,
not
good.
great.
Top five. Top 5.
Top 5 Cowboy quarterback.
University of Georgia. Real quick, it's just me or is this given reputation?
Ooh, you're saying the Texans are in their rep era.
Mm-hmm.
A Swiftie
Yeah.
wrote this.
I hate everything I just said, by the way. So please forgive me for that.
Dude, KJ's you're kind of a mood right now.
God. Putting it on the Riz or something? I don't know. I didn't watch the whole vid. Anyways,
Wow.
real quick, if this isn't like alluding to the Morgan Whalen announcement and how he communicated that.
It's Wallen.
No, yeah, designer was wailing on himself.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, I'm
Dave.
sorry. I mispronounced his name. He got mine right once.
Wow.
Jeez.
Wow. I'm not. Mm. Okay.
Anyways, if this isn't for him,
God.
how is this like leading into your franchise draft week at all? Like, this is some crap the Jaguars post like on a Monday after a loss. This should be the most optimistic time in your entire franchise each year. Like, you haven't released a schedule. You're really selling tickets based on your pick. And then you'll sell tickets based on whoever you pick next week. What are you doing here? So
To me, this is saying, yeah, we're going to draft a running back at 2. we're taking Bijan. I hope you guys are ready for that.
they're trading. Maybe this is a trade back, like pre-tweet. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, does like every word spell something? F-E-E-E. No, nope.
I do have to give them credit, however, for the proper use of the semicolon, which is a lost art these days. Most people would have gone comma there and they would have been totally wrong. So props to them for that. Nothing.
I think
Guys,
they're trading back.
You know, that's really impressive.
I had to find the semicolon, to be honest, Dylan. And the fact that you can identify that that's a semicolon, not a straight colon,
I had to
with this
zoom
font,
in on
that's
it.
an achievement.
It does have a little tail on it. so.
Straight colon, homie.
Who is catching the
No,
pass? I
you're
don't even know
right.
who
I
that
just
is.
couldn't see it.
Oh, God.
It
I
appears
don't
to be
know.
a defensive lineman with his elbow guard.
During a practice. It's a practice outfit or
my
uniform,
gosh.
too. This isn't even like a game shot.
All right, let's take a let's listen to a word from our good friends at the Cold Stove Podcast.
What's up, Too Much Dip? This is your hockey correspondent, Brett Merriman. We are the Cold Stove Podcast. I got my guy with me, NHL Rumors Daily, NRD. What's the Cold Stove Podcast?
Breaking NHL scoops in and around the National Hockey League, talking some hockey, mixing in a little bit of betting and fun around that. Try to lay back and have a good time on the Cold Stove Podcast.
Laid back hockey talk. You know, we just kind of hang out, talk hockey, breaking news. NRD's a noted journalist.
The insider,
Twitter
the people's insider, if
People's
you will.
insider. Join the locker room. Give the Cold Stove Podcast a listen.
Wow. We're lucky enough to have one of the two hosts of the Cold Stove Podcast here with us. He's already been introduced once, but let's do it again. It's Brett Merriman, Big Game Brett.
Thank you very much, Dave, for having me. Dylan, thank you for having me. KJ, thank you for having me. I just want to say how exciting playoff hockey has been this season so far. Kings and Oilers have gone to overtime 3 out of the 4 games, Dave. They call that free hockey.
You know how nice it is to watch a game like that go into overtime and it not be your team? You can just actually enjoy it without the anxiety and fear.
Golden Knights caught in overtime, John, game 3.
Playoff hockey is why I don't know why they go to overtime so much,
What
but
the
they
fuck's
do.
your problem?
But they did. Did they
And
not?
so Dave makes a good point. Playoff hockey, if you are down by 1 and trying to get the game back, or up by 1 and trying to preserve a lead, there's no more anxiety-inducing moment in sports besides maybe like a last-minute drive.
The Stars last night had a late penalty. So you had the infamous 6-on-4?
Yes.
And of course the Wild they put one home then, but it was just like you're watching it and you're watching people scramble, dive for pucks, and you're just praying they can get it out of the zone. And it's the worst. The 1-goal lead with a minute left in the playoffs it's a nightmare, especially when it's essentially a must-win game, as it was for the Stars.
And you don't have the Ike Man nor the Stone Man.
What about Zach Eichel?
He might be in the stands.
Yeah, he's still in minor league hockey.
Yeah.
He's playing for the Wichita Wildcats.
Yep. That's a team.
He's on the come up.
Right. Yeah.
Alliteration
He'll
play.
He'll get there sometime. But yeah, it's been a very exciting time. No series has been swept, nor will it be swept in the first round. So that's kind of a fun little wrinkle. The Bruins are who we thought they were. They're extremely talented and are going to knock out the Panthers in the very near future. So congrats to them. The Maple Leafs up 2-1 on the old Lightning, Dave.
Are they your biggest disappointment? The Lightning.
Not yet.
The Ning.
Nings. Not yet. We'll see. I don't know.
Does Vegas have a shot at this?
Yeah,
They good?
Oh, yeah.
Are they good? Or are they
They're-
good?
No, they're good. They're
Okay.
good. Their biggest problem is Connor Hellebuck, the Jets goalie, is probably the best goalie in the league.
Okay.
So if they can get past him, their goaltending is only going to go down in talent who they're facing,
I got it. Okay.
but the teams will get better, if you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
So,
Winnipeg, Dave.
KJ, who do you like so far in the playoffs? You're looking at Connor McDavid?
I watched a little bit of the Kings Oilers yesterday, and the Kings I want to say it's a Kings goal, to completely butcher my point here. Executed one of the prettiest, just full blown like set plays. Player took it behind the net, waited on a line change. You could tell that they were, designing the play had been called, and essentially like you would see in basketball on an inbound pass or in football almost. Everything broke, pass down the ice, was on the money, pass to the next guy, right off the rebound, they got the goal. That was beautiful to see. I'm describing it in a terrible manner, especially since I can't name the players. I believe it was a King's goal. So that was really, really fun to see in the moment. I think we'd all be remiss for not crediting Brett with saying at least keep an eye on the fact that the Kraken have an opportunity to get a game or to make some noise in a series where they, might have been swept, picking up game 1 against the Avalanche. If anything, I want to see them stretch that out, because if the Stars do win their series, it's going to go 6 games or 7 games. You don't want them going into Colorado with, everything they know Colorado is on good rest.
They're always – those Stars Avs series are always a banger. That's just how it goes with those two.
Yeah, game 4 at the Crack House tonight, KJ. Look out.
Ooh. I love nights like this where I can just relax. We're coming back to Dallas, best of 3. We got home ice again. We had you on last Monday, as KJ mentioned. Thoughts on the Matt Dumba run at Joe Pavelski?
Yeah, no, it was, in my opinion, my humble opinion, it was a dirty hit. It was lined up for far too not necessarily too many strides, but too many feet of ice. He had his head down, and he had released the puck long enough so that you didn't need to, blast him into the ice. You could have put put your shoulder into him without the intent to decleat him, if you will. Or de-skate him. Which brings up another point, Dave. The officiating has been maligned on hockey Twitter the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I saw our good friend, I believe Pete Blackburn, talking about the Islanders being on the wrong end of that last night.
Yeah.
I did not watch that game.
Basically Matt Barzal, one of the Islanders' best players, was cross-checked and was called for embellishment. So not only did a player get a penalty for cross-checking, but Matt Barzal was then penalized for embellishment. So the point being, you can't embellish a penalty that existed. You know what I mean? If it's a penalty, it's just a penalty.
Same thing happened in Game 1 Stars Wild with Robertson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He got hooked, and they got them both, and then 4-on-4, and I think the Wild scored on that deal. But
right, you should get a penalty for embellishment or a penalty for cross-checking. It can't be both.
okay, completely agree with that.
I hate that it's both, and they're both 2-minute penalties. That's the thing that sucks. I could get behind a 1-minute penalty, offsetting a 2-minute penalty to a certain extent, but to completely negate the advantage kind of sucks.
Which is, and
I get why they do it though.
So the officiating, it's hard in playoff hockey because generally the physicality ramps up in the game. People are taking runs at each other. People are going for people's knees, ankles, wrists, back, cross checks in front of the net because now it matters. Now your season is no longer 82 games. It is best of 7. So the refs are instinctively either trying to call penalties that they've seen all season, and then they're trying not to lose games. So if a team is 3 penalties up in the power play department, they're gonna want to make a makeup call. That's like hockey culture, which is tough, especially in the playoffs when these power plays are hitting it like the Stars right now, 50%. So
It's a good power play.
because power plays are so deadly right now, because offense controls the game now and physicality is generally less so in the regular season versus the postseason. Now refs are kind of in this weird spot where we don't know what to do. We don't know whether keep calling the game by the book, let the guys play, let some, in football terms, let some holdings and some PIs go through if they're just hand fighting. My solution probably would be to make power plays shorter. And like KJ mentioned, have a 1-minute power play. So you kind of naturally take some sting out of that. And call the game the way it's supposed to be called. It's just if a penalty or if the team has 5 penalties, the team's got 5 penalties. You can't make up calls because they have so much more of an opportunity to score. And so it's just it's a no-win situation right now.
I can totally relate to a 1-minute power play. Kind of my thing.
Come on, David. We're talking puck here, man.
Anyway, that's my solution. Couple good games on tonight, Dave. Rangers, Devils.
Ooh.
Devils are newcomers in the playoffs. Rangers kind of looking to make this core work before they can't pay everybody. Toronto, Tampa. You got the Dillon's Golden Knights and the Jets and the Kraken and the Nats.
Can I ask you a random geographic question? You lived in New York City.
I did.
How do the routing lines break down for Islanders and Rangers?
If you're like Islanders tend to have a more Mets, Jets fan base, so Long Island and maybe the the New Jerseys kind of the world if you're not a Devils fan, but Long Island is and Brooklyn tend to lean Islanders. New York Rangers, Yankees is more of the city slickers.
Okay.
Manhattan, if you will.
That makes sense.
Staten Island's a toss-up. They're just kind of wild over there.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. It's got 3 teams in that little radius.
Tiny radius.
Tiny radius.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I need a break. I wish I had another day, but we've got game 5 tomorrow in Dallas.
You gonna make the trek, Dave?
If there's a game 7 in Dallas, which there might be, I'm going to attempt to go. I'm going to send a text.
Wow.
You don't think I'm going to do it? You're probably right.
Wow.
You'd be better off like pre-buying a game 3 ticket for the following round.
Damn, dude. KJ just dunked on your plans.
You're saying that the amount of monies that I would be surrendering?
Yeah, it's a first round game 7. It would be exciting, yes.
I've never
But
been to a
give
game
me-
7 in the NHL.
Give me Kale. Yeah, you're right. What game did we go to for the Clippers Mavs? Was that game 5?
We lost. It was
Maybe
bad.
game 3. I don't know.
It was really
Yeah, it
fun.
was very bad. But anyways, yeah, I'd rather put the money into seeing Cale McKinnon. Is where I would land.
Cale McKinnon. I like where your head's at.
Kale.
Carl. He's of course
Not
referring to
Carr, not
Kale-
McKinnon. Nate
Kale
McKinnon, Cale
McCarr,
McCarr. I'm
and
sorry.
Nate McKinnon. I thought you were doing a bit.
You're right. No, conflating 2 people.
There's definitely a kid out there named Kale who's going to be in the NHL if he's not already.
Oh yeah. No, Kale's a popular.
Kate's brother.
Yeah. Well, Dave, you know what? Playoff hockey is in full swing. It very exciting. Connor McDavid is a generational, like a once in a generation player. If you're not watching him, just watch for him alone. It is crazy special to watch.
Yeah, he's worth the price of admission.
And he plays for the Oilers, correct?
He does. Yeah,
Okay.
he's an oil man.
You know, DJ Bean's an oil man too.
You know,
You got some issues?
no, I love DJ, but man, does he lean into the oil man bit.
Wow, dude.
He's a Bruins guy, and they're just so good.
He's got a
that
lot of
DJ's
jerseys
like,
in that closet.
You know what? He really does. He does.
Man, I kind of love that range though. You go Edmonton to all the way to San Diego, or I guess LA now.
And then back up to Boston.
Yeah, back up to Boston. Pretty much.
That is wild.
He needs a team. I wonder what his baseball team is. He needs somebody in the South.
It's a good question.
I don't know.
Interesting. Well, Brett,
Thank you, Brett.
informative as always.
Insightful.
I apologize for my premature ejaculation joke that took the wind out of your sails.
No, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. I appreciate it, Dave, and thank you guys for having me. Excited to watch tonight, and as the playoffs continue, give it a try if you're new out there to hockey.
Fuck yeah! Check out Cold Stove too.
Yeah, Cold Stove Pod, and at Schmerman on Twitter and Instagram.
Wow.
At Cold Stove Pod on Twitter and Instagram.
Do you want to spell it out so people don't go to the fake Brett Merriman account? Or I think that's been removed, hasn't it?
I believe so. There was I had a fake account, KJ.
That somehow it's like 6,000 followers.
Yeah, which I don't understand at all.
I don't either. How did we just find out about this?
Very good question. I believe it has been taken
Sorry.
down.
Sneaky think it was Randy, but
All
awesome.
right, thanks, guys.
You're the man. Thanks, Brett. There he goes. Brett
Sorry, I was
Merriman.
distracted. I was trying to ask AI if it could put a backwards trucker hat on Brett, and it just kept sending me pictures of Morgan Wallen.
Will and Dillon referenced that incident in Oxford, like off the bat and circling back. And it went so over my head. I did not know that happened. I felt like such a moron. But apparently not the best dude to his fans.
Yeah, that's on me. I thought you were in the office when we were talking about it this morning, and so I threw one at you.
That's something I should have known. I will say that is not your fault. I should have been aware of that.
I'll pass you the rock. You weren't even looking.
Yeah, it's fine, man. I just didn't have my head in the game. What's up, Randy?
Oh, he's just moving the cam.
Fuck yeah. Hey, I got a question about Dillon Brooks. What's your deal?
If we were to label who had a bad week, I would say Dillon Brooks had a pretty bad Tuesday through Monday.
So
you don't want to see it.
we've said a few times that like he's the classic guy you hate if he's not on your team, but you'd love for him to be on your team. That's not really the case anymore.
Question though, how good is Dillon Brooks?
He is a very good defender.
Okay.
He shoots just above 30% from three. As Doris Burke painfully pointed out, not very athletic. I don't know why in the first like minute
Doris
of the
Burke.
game.
Here's my
She just winning it.
my biggest problem with Dillon Brooks right now. So we have LeBron, who is arguably the GOAT. He's a top three.
Oh,
player
hold
all
on,
time.
dude.
And
What's he
Dillon
ever done?
Brooks has targeted LeBron James, who is in the final few years of his career as arguably, a top 2-3 basketball player of all time. And he's making a name for himself by being like a pain in LeBron's ass. Like he's just targeting LeBron, trying to get in his head. And that's what we know Dillon Brooks by, instead of just him being a good basketball player. He's like the annoying guy on the other team who's just fucking with the arguable GOAT. And it annoys the shit out of me what this guy's doing. Otherwise, I don't know the fuck who this guy is.
I love that you're treading so lightly on like what to call LeBron. Like
I don't.
you just because I get it.
Yeah.
You don't want that smoke.
I
but
don't think he's the GOAT. I think he's number 2 behind Jordan. But it is what it is. I don't want to get. I don't want to get into LeBron
Hold on a
versus
sec.
Jordan.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I don't think it's even remotely close, honestly. But it is what it is. Yeah, Dillon Brooks. He's a household name because he is just a pain in the ass.
He punched LeBron in the penis.
He hit LeBron in the dick.
Remember that time LeBron pulled his shorts up and the camera caught his penis?
No,
His penis was exposed to the cameras on an ABC game.
I missed that. Good piece.
KJ, you remember that?
Good piece.
I remember the story. Thankfully, I do not have the image in my mind.
Okay.
I also no longer have the drop of Dillon being old and needing to get his drip up on the board, because I thought Dillon Brooks would have some comments for him as well. Unquestionably, I think that was the biggest issue with like the Dillon Brooks comment. Like they won the game 2, I believe, in the series, and I could be off, whatever. Post-game interview, he like outright calls LeBron old. Acknowledges that it's towards the end of his career, acknowledges that he would have been better early in his career. But like saying I'm not worried he's old and then adding in I don't respect anybody until they come and give me 40, like is just the most absurd way to go about it. Like Pat Beverly has almost perfected his craft of being a shit talker and not ever like confusing anybody to think like Pat Beverly is the best player on the court at any point in time of his career. I don't think anybody's ever thought that.
No.
Dillon Brooks either.
And here's the thing
Um,
about Pat Beverly and even like a Draymond Green, guys who like really embrace the heel role, right?
mhm,
They do it to everybody. They're just
correct.
dickheads on the court. Dillon Brooks is targeting LeBron. In a way, he's like coattail riding his fame, his notoriety, and that shit bothers me.
He's trying to
Who
get in his
was
head.
Dillon Brooks's beef with earlier in the year, though? He had it with somebody on the Warriors, right?
Dude, he had it with
I think with Draymond.
he had it with Draymond. He got into it with Shannon Sharp.
Oh,
It
yes,
was
that's
at the
what it was.
game.
Okay.
He called out. He had words for Kyrie and then also Luka. Like he suggested that Kyrie and Luka were sitting out when they were both absolutely dealing with injuries to avoid him guarding them. It's kind of funny. He's a very much a pro. I'm sure he grew up watching pro wrestling because like he's got the heel roll down. He knows what to say. But when that guy's on your team and it doesn't work out, and you got somebody who talks shit like that, it's the worst. It makes me think
In the locker room, you're saying everybody else?
yeah, like when you're gonna poke like the bear, when you're gonna go after LeBron, who yes, he is old, but like that doesn't mean he can't find it for a series. And I think the Lakers are gonna win that series. Even though what did Ja drop like 45 the other night in a loss, but still, with that fucked up hand. It's just a bad look. And I'm glad he's not on my team. And it makes me think, even though it's completely different circumstances, when Jason Terry got the Larry O'Brien trophy tattooed on his arm before the season, before they had won the championship.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I think the year before they went out in the first round. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this dude's on my team. That's so embarrassing for him. It's embarrassing as a fan. And wouldn't you know, they went out and won the title. That's not going to happen. The Grizz, they're not winning the West. But man, I draw the line at dick punching, personally.
Yeah. I think that's the problem I probably have. Like, I have no issue of just talking shit in general if you're also doing it on the court, which he definitely does. He talks during the game, regardless of the point in the game, not just after the game. And he has to own that. He has to take that L. That's on him. I don't love when you combine that with the Draymond-esque approach of like going a little too far.
Like stomping on someone's chest.
Stomping on someone's chest, nut tapping. Yeah. Anyways.
Oh, man. Ooh. Okay. Do we got Lakers Grizz tonight? Yes, we do. TNT. 8:00.
It definitely makes me interested in watching the series that I otherwise
It's a great series.
didn't care too much about.
It's a very compelling series, mainly because all that we just talked about, but game one, when Austin Reeves is out there giving it to the fucking Grizzlies. That's unbelievable. Austin Reeves. Shout out to him, man. Made some money. Before we move on, I got to tell you, I did something yesterday that I have not done yet. Put on my Birddogs joggers, the ones with the built-in liner.
They're wildly comfortable.
They look great. They're very, very comfortable. Honestly, I did not give them credit for how comfortable they were.
Yeah.
I've been rocking the shorts for a long time. The joggers, for whatever reason, I had not pulled them out yet. Very, very comfy. Very well designed. I look better and I feel great wearing Birddogs.
I do too. The shorts have become my go-to workout short. I really love them on days I like to also hit the sauna and or maybe get a little hot tub session. Because the liner, it's all quick drying. It's like a bathing suit that you can wear around and work out, and it's also extremely comfortable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very versatile.
Stretchy fabric makes my legs look great and yours too.
Mm-hmm.
And they're comfier than my other shorts and pants. They're versatile. Dylan's rocking them in the sauna.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I'll probably wear them to the golf course one of these days.
Damn.
Maybe even on a date with my wife, hanging out with the boys, the fellas. Who knows? I'll wear them anywhere. They're very cool. And right now, if you enter promo code BANG at checkout, you can get a free Yeti-style tumbler with every order. It's a metal thermos that keeps your drinks hot or cold. Yeti sells them for like $40, but you can get one free with an order if you enter promo code BANG at checkout. Check out Birddogs. We're ready to party here. Look at us, moving along quite nicely. This is the part of the podcast where we not only podcast, but we talk sports and party at the same time.
I got a question for you, Dave.
Please.
Let's say you've been drinking, and maybe you're walking from one bar to the next, and a little scuffle breaks out on the street. And you look up, you notice that Nate Diaz is just hanging out on the sidewalk. Of course, Nate Diaz, MMA legend.
Sure.
Right? Would you go up? Would you go up to the middle of said scuffle and just to see what's up, or would you maybe give him some space?
I'll probably just say, look, that's Nate Diaz on the list of guys to not approach during a street fight, especially a street fight in New Orleans where everything is just ramped up a little bit. He's near the top of the list.
Maybe he's had a couple hurricanes or a purple drink from Lafitte's.
Maybe a hand grenade.
Maybe a hand grenade.
A drink. Or he actually might have a hand grenade on his person.
And to this dumbass's credit, he wasn't going up like, fists up or like bowed up to Diaz. He kind of just walked up to him.
He walked up, put his hands out, like kind of like a whoa, hey. But of course, the cameraman decides to pan over to the other part of the fight instead of keeping the camera on Nate Diaz.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't really get to see if maybe that guy lunged at him or something. But then you go back, they put the camera back on Nate Diaz and the Logan Paul lookalike, which is apparently this guy's bit. Don't understand that at all. And Nate's just got him in a choke, some kind of like ninja choke. I think that's actually the name of it. And it looks so casual. He just lets go. And the always scary guy hits his head on the concrete.
No, actually, if you watch the video,
he kind of lets him down.
He like sets him down gently. He knows that, like, okay, this guy's asleep. I could easily just let his head bounce off the street, and that could cause a big problem. But he's
not trying to get that man.
He kind of just sets him down. Like, I'm gonna just, you're not gonna be a problem for me anymore because you're about to be asleep, and I'm gonna leave you here, and I'm gonna move on.
That's such a boss move. KJ, you saw this video, right?
I did, and he violated my number one rule. This individual, not Nate Diaz, of course, because there are no rules in my book for him. If you see an individual with cauliflower ear, you look the other way, you walk the other way. You do not engage under any circumstances unless you are in a working capacity and your only answer is yes, absolutely, thank you. You just don't fuck with him.
Yeah, and he happens to be the one dude who, like, is down to fight everybody.
He's 6 feet tall. I had to, like, reconfirm that Nate Diaz wasn't one of, like, the MMA short kings. I know, like, his weight class and everything like that, but there are plenty of guys in the MMA who absolutely could whoop my ass and most people's ass out there in the world. Breaking news. But there are some out there who, I don't know, a BJ Penn, if you will, who may not be very visually, who are more unassuming. And you can see how somebody could accidentally find themselves in an altercation with the BJ Penn and be on the wrong side of a sleeper hold. Nate Diaz, you got no excuse.
No,
you just, as popular as this sport is and how so many people are taking, they're training for it and just picking up as a hobby. You never know who you're getting in a little tussle with when you're out in the wild. I mean, he's obviously a boxer, but Gervonta Davis, a guy who's like, 5'6", just a tiny lad, could just absolutely clean my clock. Like, guys, you just don't know who you're going up against. Don't get in random fights, people.
Listed at 5'5", Gervonta. Tank, as he's known.
Yikes.
Crazy.
Yeah, I feel like that's a fair trade-off. Like, any times I have regret about, like, oh man, I don't know, YouTube came out, too late in my school age career, whatever, I will full blown take the trade-off of, like, UFC not being as widely popular so that I could get in a random fight or two during my college years with a little bit of less risk, and then also have less risk of being, like, I don't know, Dak Prescott caught on camera as I'm getting, like, beat up or something. I'll take that trade-off for not having the technology around that kids do these days, of not having the risk, because it ain't good.
It's not good at all. Of course, the previously mentioned tank, Gervonta Davis, with the shot to the liver of one noted TikTok sensation, Ryan Garcia. Actually, very skilled boxer, but not
very quick.
Did not need to be in the ring with Tank.
Quick hands.
Did you watch this whole fight, or catch any of
I
the
caught
highlights
it.
or anything?
I had kind of a big Friday night, as some of us did, and I was in bed at 9:30 on Saturday. It was not
good.
not good at all.
We had a night though.
Yeah, we did. I tried to break up a fight, much like the
Yeah.
fake Logan Paul, and luckily nobody threw any punches.
Dave tried to break up a fight. I tried to break Dave up from breaking up a fight.
Yeah.
That was dumb.
Yeah.
I thought I was doing the right thing, and in retrospect, it was very, very silly. But
Well, what you saw was about seven, maybe not seven, maybe five guys in their 20s trying to pick a fight with like maybe two older gentlemen, and you saw it going very poorly for the older gentlemen. I get why you wanted to do it.
yeah, too old for this shit.
Yeah.
Oh, we completely forgot about this Detroit Lions scandal, the gambling scandal.
Yes. So NFL announced the suspension of 6 players, I believe. I'm not going to name them all because, whatever. 2 of which were, I guess I should say 4 were Lions, 2 played for another team. Doesn't matter. The notable thing is Jameson Williams, Lions' second pick in the first round last year, because I think they got Aiden Hutchinson and then went back and got Jameson Williams in late first. He was injured out of Alabama, so didn't play the majority of last year. He's suspended for 6 games in 2023 for placing a bet. Very notable that he did not bet on the NFL like Calvin Ridley did when he was injured with the Falcons. He bet, I believe, on the NBA. It was a small wager, but the problem is the NFL says not only can you bet on nothing NFL related, drafts, off-season transactions, games, of course, anything related to the NFL at any point in time from anywhere, but you also cannot bet on any other sports from within an NFL facility or while traveling for an NFL related event. So you can't be on a plane to an away game at the away team stadium, even if they have a sports book in the lobby of their stadium, just like the Lions do.
Give me a break.
So he placed a bet on I believe an NBA game from the locker room or something, and that's what got him 6 games.
I don't even the logic behind these rules. Like, some of it makes sense. Like, I get you don't want to be betting on your team. You don't want to have a conflict there. But dude, come on. The whole league is like this. There's so much money they're making off gambling, and they're gonna kick this dude out for 6 games. That's absurd.
Yeah, that is absurd.
And who else? Anybody else notable caught up?
Nobody
in this?
else notable, I would say. At first glance, 2 players were released. The others, and in those situations, I believe it was betting on NFL, and they were out for the year.
Okay.
Another player bet on non-NFL related games and was suspended 6 games as well.
2 more notes. 13 Colorado players have entered the transfer portal as of today, including, I think, their leading running back, their best number 1 or number 2 wide receiver, some good players.
They had a receiver who, in the spring game just over the weekend, caught 3 balls for 154 yards and 2 touchdowns. He then followed up that game by entering the portal. Not sure what's going on there. He was the leading receiver last year.
Primetime
I know
cleaning
that
house.
Colorado has there's been an influx of transfers and a lot of talent followed in from Jackson State, and other guys, of course, transferring in. But yeah, 13. You don't want to lose 13 guys after your spring game.
No. And their schedule this year is really, really, really tough.
I think they're going to be trash this
They
year.
will win 4 to 5 games if they're lucky.
Yeah,
If they start off the year at TCU.
I'm not sure.
Win.
Sports Center posted a highlight from the game over the weekend.
Yeah.
I think it was who was on the call. It doesn't matter. Anyway, there's a pass.
Chris Fowler.
Chris Fowler was on the call. There was a pass that Sanders threw to Travis Hunter for a touchdown, and Chris Fowler was making it sound like it was a big deal. Literally, no one was guarding Travis Hunter. Like, he just walked in the end zone,
Completely blown
turned around,
coverage.
and just caught him. Like, it was the worst defensive play I think I've ever seen. Anyway, don't know what that team's going to look like this year, but it will be very interesting to watch, and we will all be watching it because of Dion Prime.
2 quick notes on that. They did announce that Colorado sold out their stadium for the spring game. I am going to be a hypocrite and say that I both appreciate that shows the amount of interest and excitement about a team that's was a complete doormat, and now just hiring Dion has completely turned around the interest. That's tremendous for Colorado. And then today on Twitter, you'll see, oh, here's the attendance by rankings of teams across college football. And I'm like, I don't care to see it for Ohio State, Georgia, and teams who like have had no turnover. That doesn't tell me anything besides there was nothing else to do in Athens or Columbus or all of these other places. Like, I think it's notable for Colorado, not so much for these other places. And then last note, I'll go ahead and hit the next one. Oakland A's have purchased land in Las Vegas, which is exciting for two reasons. One, the location of the stadium is pretty dope. Just north of where the Raiders Stadium is, Allegiant Stadium is, across the highway to the west of where T-Mobile Arena is.
Down around Vegas way, huh?
Down around Vegas way, very close to the Strip is what I'm getting at there. So if it does occur that they move the team, which would happen, the stadium would project to be done by 2027. That would be tremendous. But there are talks that their current lease will be up in Oakland next year or this year or whatever. They might be playing at their AA or AAA team, the Los Angeles Airmen or whatever, in Las Vegas as soon as next year. So that would be a lot.
Man, it'd be a real shame if we had to go visit our good friend Brent Rooker in Vegas and go hang out with him, since like we're all boys now.
That'd be terrible.
Dang. I'm gonna have to
Talking about a little spot with the best champagne deals he could buy on a 10 a.m. Saturday morning.
KJ is not in charge of drink orders anymore.
The Arizona League Athletics are the minor league baseball team in Phoenix, Arizona. That is the A's, a farm system team for the A's.
It's Los Angeles or Las Vegas Airmen.
Is it really the Airmen? Okay, I was just trying to find their logo because it sounds
Aviators.
like,
I'm sorry, the Aviators.
yes. Here it is. Okay. Oh, what the fuck? Okay,
yeah,
that's a
it kind of looks like a modern superhero.
It looks like a praying mantis up close. Fucking weird.
Yeah,
crazy shit. Dylan, let's run it back.
Let's run it back. Not a super long one today. Of course, run it back is the segment during which we talk about what we already talked about. Dylan is horny for puck. Dave out here getting sweaty on his lunch break. KJ keeps saying sauna. We're not sure why.
So stable.
Morgan Wallen once said something very, very bad, KJ recalls. Dave remembers the time we got to see LeBron's penis on national television. That's cool.
Look it up.
And finally, Dave tried to break up a street fight over the weekend. Actually, maybe he successfully did. I'm not sure because there was no fight.
Judging by the things that I saw, a fight was never really going to happen. But who knows?
There was a spitting.
Not on your watch.
Somebody got spit on and just took it.
That's tough.
Did they not call him Bay?
He's making a spit on a bay joke.
Spit on it, bay joke. Yeah. The old school listeners will like that one.
Yeah. And that concludes
good
work.
Fair. It's good work from KJ.
Fun stuff, guys.
Well, KJ, any parting thoughts?
RIP to Mills Lane. I'm seeing he's no longer with us as of last year, so sad stuff. Yeah, famous boxing ref, whatever.
Did you hear my impression?
That's all I got.
Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. Rest in peace, Mills Lane. Dylan, as always, thank you. Anything you want to say?
I had fun, man. Did you?
I had fun. How about you, Randy? Did you have fun? I'm going to turn it up.
Stellar.
Yeah, Randy's asleep over there. All right, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
That's all I know. I don't want my chips plain. I want my chips with the dip. So bring them dips.
Let me take a sip of this Illuminati before I start this.